At 68, Robert was proud of his health. He walked every morning, played cards with his friends, and could still fix just about anything around the house. So when he started forgetting names or stumbled over a crack in the sidewalk he swore wasn't there, he just brushed it off. He'd laugh and say, "I'm having a senior moment," or "my eyes aren't what they used to be." He believed, like so many of us do, that these were just the simple, unavoidable signs of getting older. What he didn't know was that his brain was sending out a series of quiet, desperate alarms. These weren't just glitches of aging. They were silent warnings of a much larger, preventable crisis. And what you don't know about these quiet signals could be the most dangerous thing of all. What was happening to Robert is frighteningly common. In fact, for every person who has a major, recognizable stroke, experts estimate that another 10 may have had a silent one. These events are called silent brain infarcts. While a classic stroke is a loud, terrifying event, a silent stroke is a whisper. It's caused by a loss of blood flow to a part of the brain, but it happens in an area that doesn't control a major function like speaking or moving a limb. Think of it like a slow leak in a tire. You don't get a sudden blowout on the highway. Instead, the pressure drops little by little. You might not notice it day to day, but the damage is happening. A silent stroke creates a tiny area of permanent damage in the brain. One single event might not produce any symptoms you'd notice, but as these silent events add up, their combined damage starts to show itself in more obvious ways. The prevalence of silent brain infarcts increases dramatically with age. Studies from the Rotterdam Scan study showed prevalence going from 8% in people aged 60 to 64 up to 35% in those 85 to 90. Some research suggests about a quarter of people over 80 have at least one silent infarct. Now, you might have also heard of a transient ischemic attack, or TIA. People often call it a mini-stroke. A TIA can produce the same sudden symptoms as a major stroke, but they're temporary, usually lasting only a few minutes. While a silent stroke leaves behind undetected damage, a TIA is a temporary blockage. But a TIA is anything but harmless. It's the loudest warning shot your brain can fire, signaling a very high risk of a full-blown stroke, sometimes within days. Silent strokes and TIAs are part of the same family of dangerous vascular problems. The silent strokes are the quiet, cumulative damage, while the TIA is the blaring alarm. The real danger of silent strokes is how easily we dismiss the symptoms. They look exactly like what we've been told is a normal part of getting older. Let's go back to Robert's story and break down the red flags. First, his memory. It started small, misplaced keys, a forgotten name. He chalked it up to being distracted, but then he'd lose his train of thought mid-sentence or struggle to plan a simple project. This wasn't just a senior moment. These silent events often damage the parts of the brain that act like a CEO handling planning, focus, and quick thinking. This can show up as memory issues, a general feeling of confusion, or trouble with cognitive skills. Over time, this damage can accumulate and lead to a more serious condition known as vascular dementia. Second was his balance. He was always steady, but lately, he'd had a few close calls, a random stumble, a moment of dizziness. He blamed it on new shoes or uneven ground. But sudden problems with balance or coordination are a classic, though subtle, sign that something is wrong. The back of the brain controls our balance, coordination, and vision. A silent stroke there can create these exact symptoms: a sudden loss of balance, a clumsy gait, or a feeling like the room is spinning. It's not just getting older. It's a part of the brain being starved of oxygen. And there are other subtle changes too. Have you or a loved one had rapid shifts in mood, becoming uncharacteristically agitated or withdrawn? Or maybe fleeting vision changes, like a moment of blurriness in one eye? Some people report a temporary feeling of numbness on one side that vanishes as quickly as it came. For women, the signs can be even more subtle, like sudden fatigue or nausea. Individually, they seem like nothing, but together they paint a picture of a brain under stress and a crisis that is building. The good news? Robert's story doesn't have to be yours or the story of someone you love. A silent stroke is a warning, not a destiny. Recognizing the quiet signs is the first step, but everyone should also know the loud, unmistakable signs of a major stroke. The American Stroke Association wants you to remember the acronym FASTF is for face. Ask the person to smile. Does one side of the face droop? A is for arms. Ask them to raise both arms. Does one arm drift downward? S is for speech. Is their speech slurred? Are they hard to understand? And T is for time. If you see any of these signs, it's time to call 911 immediately. Many health organizations have also added 2 more letters to the front. B and EB is for balance. A sudden loss of balance or coordination. E is for eyes. Sudden blurred, double, or lost vision in one or both eyes. A TIA will show up with these sudden symptoms, but then they'll go away. Don't ignore them. A TIA is a medical emergency because it means a major stroke could be right around the corner. But what's even better than treatment is prevention. And the CDC has stated that up to 80% of all strokes are preventable. The risk factors for silent strokes are the same as for major ones, and you can control most of them. First, manage your blood pressure. It's the leading cause of stroke, so keeping it in a healthy range is the most effective thing you can do. Second, eat a heart-healthy diet. Think fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins, while cutting back on saturated fats, salt, and sugar. The Mediterranean diet is a great example that has been shown to reduce stroke risk. Third, stay active. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate activity, like a brisk walk every week. Exercise helps with blood pressure, weight, and cholesterol. Fourth, if you smoke, you have to quit. It damages blood vessels and dramatically increases your risk. Also, be mindful of alcohol consumption. And finally, see your doctor for regular health screenings to monitor your cholesterol and blood sugar, and to manage conditions like diabetes or an irregular heartbeat. Let's go back to Robert. That one extra stumble, combined with his wife noticing his growing confusion, was the wake-up call he needed. He didn't wait. He told his doctor about the pattern of symptoms, and an MRI was ordered. The scan revealed what he couldn't see, the small, scattered areas of damage from multiple silent strokes. The results were scary, but they were also empowering. He started on medication for his blood pressure and cholesterol. He and his wife changed their diet, and their morning walks became a non-negotiable part of their day. Robert took his brain's silent warnings and turned them into life-saving action. His story is a powerful reminder that we have to listen to our bodies, especially to the quiet whispers. Those subtle changes we so easily dismiss as just getting older could be the most important message our brain will ever send. If this story sounds like you or someone you love, please share this with them. It could be the most important message they get all week and could genuinely save a life. For more health insights that can make a real difference, take a moment to subscribe. Thank you for watching.